Hey guys, what's going on? Laying back for another Netflix review, and today I'm going to be talking about Bigbug. Bigbug is a French sci-fi comedy that follows a group of people living in a future city set in 2045, in which the rise of artificial intelligence has made for several technological innovations at the cost of increasing hostility directed toward humans. Shortly after the movie begins, the group find themselves locked inside a house. The robots of the household engage the lockdown so as to protect the humans from an android uprising that is supposedly taking place outside the house. As a result, everyone plots to find a way to escape the house and return to their normal lives, while building relationships with each other at the same time. The visual style of this movie becomes immediately evident within the first minute, and I look forward to seeing the rest of what it had to offer. While it remains technically impressive throughout, I found myself disappointed with its lack of focus and shallow characters. There isn't really a lead character in this movie, so I'll try to list as many as I can. Alice and her boyfriend Max don't have much to do other than constantly fawn over each other and find places to get busy where no one's looking. Their attempts to do so keep getting foiled multiple times, and it gets old really quick. Alice's ex-husband Victor shows up as well, along with his mistress Jennifer, and I'm not sure why he stuck around for so long in the beginning. I know he was dropping off Alice's daughter Nina, but he had no reason to stick around and chit-chat with everyone inside, let alone bring in his girlfriend for no other purpose than to just show her off. As if that wasn't weird enough, Max also saw fit to bring his son Leo to the house as well. Leo always speaks in technobabble, but it's not amusing like it is in other shows such as Star Trek, for example. Everything he says is slang made up specifically for the movie, which becomes progressively more annoying in its use. Finally, there's a neighbor of Alice's named Francoise who shows up along with her dog. Maybe there was something I missed about her, but I have no idea why she appeared in the movie at all. Upon closer inspection though, I think the same logic can be applied to every other character in the house. None of the humans inside experience anything meaningful in the way of growth. They exist only as vehicles to serve the absurd situations surrounding them, which could make for an interesting segue into how mechanical human life has and will become, and there is a bit of that, but it mostly features them doing little more than sitting around arguing or talking. The only compelling characters inside the house were the robots protecting it, the most notable of which is the android Monique. Her earnest effort to replicate human behavior makes for awkwardly funny scenarios, along with the other robots who are all unaware that they're annoying the hell out of everyone. The special effects that are used to pull off these robots are really well done. I like that there's a mix of both practical and computer-generated special effects. The robots all look like they're actually on screen, which helps make the setting come more to life, and when it has to go CG, it still looks good. Because the setting is mostly restricted to the house though, there isn't much of an idea to be grasped from the movie's world outside of what little snippets are given through dialogue. This would be fine in a novel, but in a movie it's frustrating to always have something be told as opposed to shown. It's kind of a shame because the bits that are shown are intriguing to consider. There's lots of messages relating to corporate overlords, artificial intelligence superseding mankind, and a general sense of tyranny reigning over the general public, and the movie has fun playing with these ideas and satirizing modern society and the direction it could be going. My favorite bit of comedy in this regard has to be the advertisement drones that are seen regularly floating outside the house. Each of their ads are directly tailored towards someone or an incident that happens to occur around them. There's something morbidly hilarious about how the movie takes something as pervasive today as ads and makes them even more dystopian. Unfortunately, the comedy usually isn't this subtle. There's a bizarre emphasis placed on how overly sexual all the characters seem to be, and there's even an entire arc dedicated to the robots trying to understand humor as they tell bad jokes which aren't funny even ironically, and only further contributes to how dull the rest of the dialogue is. Things improve a bit more once the Onyx android makes an appearance. It's a bit of a cross between RoboCop and Terminator in terms of how it looks, and while it isn't exactly original in this sense, the android does make up for it with its sheer presence and the number of ways it punishes the humans around it. The audience gets more of an idea of the movie's world through this character, with concepts like personal possessions, law, and even money all running through these androids. It's crazy to think about commodifying something as essential as basic human rights, and the movie has a lot of fun with this premise. With so many themes and what-if scenarios being thrown into the story though, the movie does tend to get ahead of itself and lose focus, especially during the more ridiculous scenes, such as the Homo Ridiculous sitcom that periodically plays throughout the story. The point in its mockery of humanity makes sense, but there's so many of these types of scenes that they quickly become overbearing. When the movie chills out from these sillier moments, it becomes a lot easier to appreciate the unique visual aesthetic. Everything from the modern clothes to the appearance of the robots, and from the colorful lighting to the design of the house and its props, they all help add flavor to the futuristic world this movie takes place in, even if it's only set in a small part of it. This being said, there are some weird creative decisions made when it comes to the editing. Fade transitions are frequently used to go from one scene to the next, and there's no reason for it. No significant period of time passes in between these transitions, so they needlessly distract from the story and can even interrupt the flow of it at times. The ending of the movie is something I remain mixed in opinion with. On one hand, I appreciated how it stayed in keeping with the more whimsical tone that was present in the rest of the movie. Too many movies set in the future these days are pessimistic in their outlook and presentation of it, and it was great to see the future portrayed in a more optimistic light here. But on the other hand, characters resolve their arcs too haphazardly, and that's if they even have any arcs to begin with. Some of them even completely change who they are as characters in the last few minutes, and it's rushed and nonsensical in how it occurs. Overall, Bigbug is a unique sci-fi flick that provides an amusing look into what the future may hold for humanity at the expense of its poorly developed human characters. If you like comedies that have a science fiction background to them and you don't mind dealing with its heavy-handed presentation from time to time, you might get something out of watching this movie. I had fun with some parts of it, but others left me confused or just straight up dumbfounded. It has thought-provoking messages behind its central concept of humans versus AI, but is in need of a lot more refinement and a lot less exposition to help drive its points home. What did you think about this movie? Were you entertained by its satirical presentation, or did it leave a lot for you to desire? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways guys, that's going to wrap up my review of Bigbug. Thanks for watching this video, I hope you enjoyed it, and as always stay tuned for the next part, where next time I review the teen rom-com Tall Girl 2. Bye bye!